No, Pink Lady. She was born in Trinidad, I believe, right? Nicki Minaj. And all these years, she's never become a citizen. Yeah, she was born in Trinidad. Let me just double check. Let me just confirm. I'm almost certain. Is Nicki Minaj a U.S. citizen? No, she's not a U.S. citizen. Even though she's lived here over 35 years. Isn't that interesting? She's lived here over 35 years and has not become a citizen.
Should Nicki Minaj be deported? Well, I guess it depends on who you ask, because tens of thousands of people have signed a petition to send Nicki Minaj back to Trinidad because she herself has expressed that she came here illegally. Yes, she pays taxes. Yes, she does all the right things. She's a contributing member to society, but she is not a U.S. citizen. And if you ask any Trumper, they are going to target everybody who falls under that umbrella, even people who are here legally and even served our country in military action. But Nicki Minaj is here illegally. She is an undocumented migrant. She is not a U.S. citizen. So shouldn't you deport her? Or are you going to say because she joined Erica Kirk at her T-Puss event and now is full MAGA that she's cool? She's a good one. She's one of the okay ones with me. Yeah, it's the double standard. You go after anybody and everybody regardless of their status. It's just if they look brown, you want to round them up. And Nicki Minaj has actively had a platform and stated she's here illegally, and you'll probably just look the other way and it doesn't matter, as long as she toes the company line. So Nicki Minaj has a pass for right now, but as that petition grows and signatures collect, I don't know what tomorrow holds.
The biggest hypocrites of 2025 award goes to Democrats. They signed a petition, over 50,000 signatures, to deport Nicki Minaj back to Trinidad. You know, the same people that are against deportations. They're anti-anything Republican. People that have opposing views than them. That's their belief system. They make it known time and time again. I would like to have a signature signed to petition tolerating Democrats. I'm over it. Essentially, by them signing this petition to deport an immigrant, right? A legal immigrant who has contributed to our society, Nicki Minaj, Democrats are showing their true colors. Democrats are showing that they only want immigrants that align with their views, that align with their political party, that align with their beliefs. Even though Democrats don't believe in anything. You ask them what they stand for, they're like, I don't stand for anything. I stand against everything Trump. Dear Democrats, instead of wasting all of your energy on signing these useless petitions, on going to these useless protests and riots, do something useful. Like, I don't know, for one, you guys virtue signal and act like you care about immigrants. How about you sign petitions to actually give them good labor hours, good working environments, and not getting paid under the table, but you know, it's all selective outrage.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kola and I'm happy to have you guys here. And on today's trending topic, we're going to be discussing on how people have really signed petition to deport Nicki Minaj back to Trinidad from the USA, claiming she's not a US citizen, and this is crazy. And let's watch these videos of how people are reacting. And just to know, almost 50,000 plus people have signed this petition to deport Nicki Minaj is crazy. So let's watch these videos of how people are reacting to it, and then we're going to come back with a full commentary at the end of the video. So if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'd really appreciate if you guys do so.
So now you guys are trying to cancel Nicki Minaj. Democrats and liberals, you guys are laughable at best. And this is why I do not take anything serious from you guys when it comes to politics. You had no problem with Meg Thee Stallion up there at the DNC shaking her behind. You had no problem with the DNC bringing in Cardi B out of all these intelligent women in the world, in this country, in that state. They chose Cardi B. who couldn't even get a paragraph out without a teleprompter. The same woman had to wait while the stadium went in silence until she was brought a cell phone with the teleprompter on it, meaning she had nothing good to say about the Democrat Party or Kamala. But it was for that bread. But you have a problem with Nicki Minaj, and your problem is not about her personally or the message she's been pushing out. Your problem is that she's doing it on the Republican platform. See, if she was doing this on the Democrat platform, you guys would be high praising her like no other. This woman is speaking up for the children in this country as well as the Christians in Nigeria who are being persecuted for wanting to be Christian. And one thing that shows to me is that with all of these religious groups that's coming into the U.S. right now, they have some very dark sides of their religion. And I am not against anyone's religion, all right? But the dark parts of their religion, they still practice it. And when it comes into this country, it shows me that you won't have a problem with it.
Somebody started a petition on change.org to deport Nicki Minaj, and their name is Petition Minaj. Then they put 16 of her husband's mugshots on there, currently waiting on ICE, the military, and the FBI to respond, and the White House secretary. Today alone, 19,808 people signed the petition. In total, there's 31,877 people that signed. This petition been out since June. Everybody's just now signing it. Y'all, they trying to deport Nicki Minaj. I know she pissed everybody off. I ain't a Nicki Minaj fan. Don't come for me. Never liked her music. Her music, she don't even make no sense. But we ain't got to deport her, y'all. Y'all taking it too far. Damn. But her husband need to be registered somewhere because I heard he ain't even registered. That's completely illegal. But y'all trying to throw the girl completely out of America. This can't even go with her. He can't even leave the U.S. He supposed to be registered. He not even supposed to be running around with her unregistered. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this in the comments. Damn. I don't want to ever piss off nobody on TikTok. Damn, y'all something else.
Something is seriously wrong with y'all people in the world. Like, for real. Like, it's not even a joke at this point. For anyone that's lost and confused and don't know what I'm talking about, so either yesterday or the day before yesterday, some lowlife that lived in his parents' basement made some petition on change.org and tried to get a petition, and people are signing it to get Nicki Minaj deported back to Trinidad because they simply don't like what she's doing politically right now, and her going on stage saying boys should be boys, which I'm sorry, I don't disagree with her. I don't disagree with her, and if you feel hit, keep it pushing. But what really is disgusting is that I'm pretty sure so many of those people that signed that petition, because if you signed that petition, you a dumbass, because that petition ain't gonna do shit. But it's what comes with it. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm pretty sure the majority of y'all motherfuckers that signed that petition were the ones that was all upset at the beginning of the year when Trump won the election, and he immediately got ICE and started deporting families back to wherever they came from. Y'all were the main ones saying, oh, he shouldn't do that. That's not right. They have every right to be here as much as we do. They got families. Y'all taking them from their families. But what do y'all think y'all gonna do by trying to do that? Let's just say in delusional world, this petition works and they do deport her back because of whatever reason, right? She's a mother, and y'all gonna take her from her child. Her child was born in America, not born in Trinidad. So if she goes back, her child is gonna be here. She is a mother at the end of the motherfucking day. And y'all are just so pathetic with what y'all doing. It's sad, and I don't understand how you guys can be against deportation, but be like, oh, because it's a certain person, they can get deported back to where they came from, because just simply because you don't agree with what they're doing. I don't see how that's gonna fix the issue, because at the end of the motherfucking day, beginning, middle, and end of the day, even if she does get deported, for whatever reason, for some delusional world that does happen, Trump is still going to be president. Nothing's going to change. And another thing that's really blowing my mind is y'all swear up and down that she's canceled, that she's done for, her career is over, social suicide, all this other kind of shit, right? Y'all swear up and down that her career is over and y'all don't like her. If y'all don't like her, why are y'all simply putting all this energy into her? It's because you know you can't cancel her. You know she can't get canceled, like I said in previous videos. Y'all have been trying to cancel her since 2017, 2018, when Cardi B made it into the rap industry, made it mainstream. And y'all been trying to find somebody to take her spot, and y'all been trying to cancel her ever since then, and it just hasn't happened yet, and y'all just mad that she's still relevant. But I'm not gonna be going online and putting all my energy into somebody that I don't like, doing all this energy. That means you have way too much time on your hands. You guys have no life, and it's really sad and pathetic. And the fact that a lot of you guys are supporting that she needs to be deported, trying to take her away from her child, is really sad and it's pathetic. Y'all really need to get a life, and y'all really need to touch some grass, like for real.
So the internet started a petition to deport Nicki Minaj, a naturalized citizen who's been here since the age of 5, came over legally, all because they don't like what came out of her mouth. Change.org, where any Nimrod can write any petition, even in order to deport somebody. Funny, because aren't you all against deporting? Nothing screams, we know immigration laws like trying to exile someone who came over here legally, became a citizen, and pays way more in taxes than the average born American citizen. Want Nicki Minaj deported for saying something that they don't like that she said. However, have you ever seen a petition for an illegal immigrant who has murdered a U.S. citizen to be deported? No, they protect them. Weird. They always scream, no one's illegal until someone says something wrong. And then they go on change.org to try to deport your ass. Can anyone make this make sense?
So y'all want to deport Nicki Minaj to Trinidad, but y'all are against deportations of actual illegal immigrants. Make it make sense. Just because she doesn't align with your political view or whatever, you wanted her to be deported. She is from what I'm told, or what my research, she is a U.S. green card holder. Because how can she be how can she be an illegal immigrant and go on world tours and then come back to America? But she had coyotes putting her in America, bringing her back across the border. No, I think she's a U.S. green card holder. She probably never got her naturalization, and that's it. I mean, but at least she's a green card holder. Like, my problem is, I have no problem with nobody that's a green card holder. And plus I know she has a little case. She had a little jail time or something when she was younger that may have prevented her from getting citizenship. So maybe she's trying to wipe that now and do the right thing and get a citizenship. Who knows? But just because y'all want to deport her to Trinidad, that's ridiculous.
This lady went from tap dancing for Donald Trump's America to having 30,000 people sign a petition to have him deport her back to Trinidad. But how? How do you go from this to this in a matter of days? How do you go from this to this in a matter of weeks? One of my favorite quotes is that you should stand for something or you'll fall for anything. If there was a book of old tricks, Nicki Minaj fell for the first word in chapter 1 of Trump's playbook. And I've been saying this since she went up to the UN, but what kind of immigrant who entered the country illegally supports the most anti-immigrant administration we will likely ever see? We could talk about the racism, we could talk about the lies, but that in my head is the biggest indictment on character when it comes to supporting this administration. Because if nothing else, if she is the American success story the president and Turning Point wanted us to believe she was for all of 30 days, she should be principally opposed to seeing someone who came here just like her be deported with no due process, or seeing someone who came here just like she did get sent to a terrorist detention center in El Salvador the White House is too ashamed to let the 60 Minutes episode air about. And again, for doing exactly what she did and is still guilty of to this day. But if you go for that, nothing is off limits. And it's even crazier from Nicki Minaj, because as quick as they can send her to the UN to advocate for us committing more war crimes in Nigeria, or to high-five Erica Kirk while she disparages the demographics that make up what was left of her fan base, is as quick as they could have sent ICE with a one-way ticket back to Trinidad if she was lucky. A lot of people end up in countries they've never been to, like El Salvador or Uganda. And everyone from book writers to construction contractors to Chrisette Michelle will tell you to get the money up front on a Trump deal. While this kind of outcome was expected from a move that short-sighted, to see it happen so quickly was just not something that I saw coming. Like, not at all.
Be real about Nicki Minaj for a minute, y'all. She didn't just switch sides. She switched values. She switched loyalties. She switched on the very people who built her into a global icon. Because let's be crystal clear. Her fame was not born in MAGA rooms. It wasn't built on Turning Point USA stages. It did not come from Trump's America. Her empire was built in Black spaces, in queer spaces, in communities that embraced her when mainstream America called her crude, classless, trashy, raunchy, and ghetto. And now she's tap dancing for the exact people who once despised her. Not because she grew, not because she thinks for herself, but because she saw a new lane to explore. This is about aligning with a political machine she thinks will shield her from criticism and consequence. She wants the illusion of power more than the reality of accountability. This is the celebrity tradition of using Black culture to rise, using queer culture to shine, then abandoning both when white conservative approval becomes more profitable. Nicki knows exactly who made her a superstar. Black girls who saw themselves in her hustle. Queer fans who built entire aesthetics around her music and persona. Communities who fought for her when mainstream America wanted absolutely nothing to do with her. And she repaid that loyalty by sitting beside people who legislate queer lives away, mock Black struggle, and cheer policies built on exclusion and cruelty. That is not confusion. That is cynical opportunism. Nicki Minaj wants the benefits of Blackness while cozying up to a movement built squarely on anti-Blackness. She wants the money and brilliance of queer fans while performing for people who demonize those same fans as immoral. She wants to be queen of the barbs while dancing in rooms full of people who believe her fan base is everything wrong with America. Nicki Minaj didn't just switch sides, she switched currencies. And the currency she gave up was us, Black people, queer people, the communities that carried her, crowned her, and kept her relevant long after the industry moved on. You cannot build your throne on Blackness and queerness, then run to MAGA and expect the kingdom to follow. Nicki Minaj now stands as a cautionary tale. What happens when an artist sells out her people for applause from the very crowd that once booed her? The same crowd that called her ghetto, called her too sexual, called her a bad influence, called her fans degenerates, called her entire aesthetic a threat to American values. And now suddenly she's MAGA's cultural trophy.
Nicki Minaj is an undocumented.
Yeah, no. So she is an immigrant, but she's not undocumented. I'm an attorney, but I'm not yours. Let me clean up this vocabulary to make this a more accurate statement. Being undocumented, which I literally hate that word, means that you have no legal right to be in the U.S. You don't have status. She clearly has status. And the prime indicator of this is the fact that she travels in and out of the U.S. She's constantly going abroad. She goes on world tours. Someone who is undocumented would not have that type of freedom of movement. Now, there are different types of status. You can get a marriage visa. She's married to a U.S. citizen. You could get a visitor's visa, U visa, T visa. I mean, there's so many different opportunities to have status. It's difficult, but there's different pathways that are not citizenship. When you're speaking about citizenship, you are correct. She does not have citizenship in the U.S., only in Trinidad. So she is not able to vote, which is an accurate statement. But she's not undocumented. She clearly got some type of status. This also goes to show you how difficult it is for someone to get citizenship status in the U.S. She's been here for over 2 decades. She clearly pays her taxes. She's a public figure. Like it's difficult.
So out of nowhere, there's this petition floating around calling for Nicki Minaj to be deported. And when I say people are shocked, I mean confused, angry, or arguing all at once. A lot of folks are asking, how did we even get here? Nicki has been in the US for decades. For 30 plus years, she has built her career here. She has paid taxes here. She has raised herself here and her child here, and she has a family too. So the idea of deportation alone already sounds wild to some people, but the anger didn't come from nowhere. People who signed the petition says it's not really about music anymore. They are upset about things Nicki has said online. So who she's defended publicly, and moments where they feel like she used her platform irresponsibly. So some feel she dismisses serious issues, others think she doubles down instead of listening, and that's where the frustrations really boils over, and people are really angry due to her interview with Erika Kak during her Turning Point interview. And on Others are saying this whole thing is so ridiculous, me too, and this movie is so dangerous because they feel like people are weaponizing immigration laws out of spite, and that calling for deportation over opinions or internet drama sets a scary precedent. To them, it's not accountability, it's harassment, and that's where the debate gets heated. One side says celebrities should be held responsible when they cause harm. The other side says you don't punish someone by trying to erase their entire life, more so a life she has built in and participated in the growth of that country. But what really stands out is how fast people are outrageous and turn into extreme sport to deport Nicki. So disagreement becomes a cancellation. Crazy. A cancellation becomes a petition. More crazy. And suddenly people are talking about deportation like it's a clapback. Why? Is it really necessary for you people to just see Nicki Minaj's downfall? So the question is this about accountability, or is it about cancel culture going too far? Or is it just another moment where the internet just forgets there are real consequences behind viral anger? And we would really not want to see Nicki just being deported just because of her opinions. Everyone has an opinion to everything. Let me know in the comments. And finally, credit goes to all the respective owners of the clips and content used in my video. Your thoughts and perspective made today's work possible. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly do so. I'd really appreciate if you guys do so. See you in the next video.